Hey everybody, I want to give you my recap on my day for the fourth KATS event on Coleto Creek. Um, let's see, the best way I can describe how my day was, pretty much like this. Yeah, I uh,
I just
I screwed up.
fucking shot myself.
Pre-fishing, I was fishing the cane and was getting all my strikes pretty much closer to the edge of the grass line, and with the flooding that happened through Texas this past week, the lake went up. They had to let water out because it got so high. The water was a little bit stained, and stainer than it was before. And with that, the bass moved deeper into all the grass in the cane. Well, my normal flipping setup is 20 pounds fluorocarbon, which I didn't lose any because I broke fluorocarbon. I used Seagar. That stuff held up all day. I actually never retied all day. Excuse me. And that line just held up just fine. But my problem was the bites were very subtle. I mean, they would just pick it up and start moving off, where I really wouldn't notice much until I can see my line start moving. Well, being the fact that I was throwing deep into the cane, they move off to the left, they move off to the right. I got to be able to pull around to get a good hook set, and I just wasn't able to do that with the with the fluorocarbon. I wish I had my braid on there. Probably would have been able to get one more in the boat, and that would have helped out a lot. I finished 27th out of everybody, and that's with 4 fish. If I had one, I know I had. If I got any of the fish that I had were easily over 14 inches. So if I would have been able to boat one, that would have put me in the top 10. So, but we all have those days where just doesn't come together. I mean, I was on a good bite. I was getting them all day. I just wasn't getting the hook sets, and you know what? It happens. I wish it didn't, but I wish it happened on pre-fishing day, not the tournament. But it happens. Um, but I was using a Strike King Rage Claw, excuse me, with an 1/8 ounce. I was going pretty light because I wanted it once I could sit there and find little pockets, and that's what they were setting in. And I wanted it to where it was a slower drop. And I mean, they were. It was definitely a good combination. I was running it in black and blue. That seemed to be the color that they wanted to go with, just because the dirtier water, it's a little easier to see. Um, but my first location I went to, there's a tree that I ended up not catching anything off of. I keep having these pre-fishing where I find a certain spot where they just stack up, and they just weren't just like the other time on Houston County. They just weren't on that spot. Um, so I had to abandon that. And while I was, there's a whole bunch of cane right there by that tree, and that's where I caught my first fish and missed, I think, 3 of them out of there. Well, and that's at the discharge closest to the plant. Now, once I got done with that area, I worked around all the way to the main point before you hook back into where the power plant is itself. I'll have a map up so you guys can see. That's where I've caught my biggest one at. It was 21.5 inches. Put up a hell of a fight. It was fun. I thought she was a little bit bigger just because of the fight, but still a good sized bass. And then after that one, I caught another one. I think it was a 17 inches right there, a little bit deeper into the grass itself. After that, I went all the way back to my first spot where that tree was again, and tried the tree again just to see if maybe they moved in back into it. Still weren't there, so I started flipping the grass line again. and lost another big one. Um, found a hole. There was 3 trees with cane growing around it, and right in between them there was a little hole. And I'm like, I said it to myself. I'm like, if I can get a cast in there, there's got to be one in there. And as soon as I hit the water, I saw the swirl come around, so I started just twitching it, and that was actually one of the few fish that actually hammered the bait. And set the hook, tried pulling her up over the cane, and as I was getting the hook up to the cane, the hook went into the cane, and she just started wiggling at that point and got off, and just that was my my 4th or 5th attempt at trying to get my 5th fish in the boat. It sucks, but then I had had one on the way back. I was there's some more cane right there by the launch, and fished that and ended up getting a 13 3/4. It's like just just another just another shot in the head at that point. But no, I mean, you can't win them all. You're gonna have days like this, so I mean it happens. You just learn from it. I'll just have to make sure I have my another reel with me that's got braid on it, so next time I'm flipping heavy like that, I can actually really set a hook on it without worrying about it. But yeah, that was my recap, guys. Please like, subscribe, tell me what you think, and you know what? See you guys out there. Have a good one.